G'day guys, Duckville here. We have got game 2 of our two Korean players that I put up game 1 of shortly before, which was a fantastic game between these two very high quality players, and we saw a really good battle. Just unfortunately not very much in terms of tech switching happening with the Terran player, stuck with a very heavy Bioforce and just got cleaned up with Colossus. So we'll have to see what happens here in game 2. Now we do have our Protoss player spawning up in the top right corner. The name for this player, if I remember correctly, was something along the lines of Microbiotic, something like that. I cannot remember what this guy's name translates out to, so we'll just have to go with the Red Terran like in the previous game. As we can see, nothing really too fancy happening, just like in the first game. Just standard sorts of openings. Doesn't look to be any cheese occurring just yet. Probably won't be, I would assume. But yeah, so it was a really fantastic game in game 1. Hopefully everyone watched that one, because I just spoiled it for you. Take that. And we have, yeah, another great game on Blistering Sands coming up, I would assume. Once again, just like game 1, I haven't actually watched any of these replays, so I'm just hoping that they're going to be really good. But given game 1, I'm assuming this one is going to be really good too. We've got some initial workers having a little battle here. Probe is going to try and keep the shields up and keep the health up, because as we know, Protoss shields regenerate really quickly in StarCraft 2, which is obviously a little bit different to StarCraft 1. We've got a gateway going up. We've got an assimilator as well. All pretty standard here from both players. SCV chasing this probe around, making sure it doesn't cause any trouble out on the field. And we've got the scout going out from our Terran player. Now, look, this is a really nice little tactic here from the Protoss player, keeping the probe around this rack so that the racks cannot put the tech lab down. It does eventually get it down, but delayed it for a few seconds there, which is a really nice little tactic you can pull off, just to, if it's at least to delay your Terran opponent just by a few seconds, to delay Reapers or to delay that early first Marauder, something along those lines, just to keep you in a really good spot there. It is a really good tactic to do if you can spare the micro. Now, as we can see, both of these players are really high on their APM, so they certainly can spare the micro. We've got our Protoss player, Microbiotic, sitting on about 235 average APM, a really good player here. Does a nice job surrounding that SCV with the probes and actually kills off that SCV pretty quickly, which a Terran player won't be too happy about. Now we've got little bit of yeah, he actually is going for the Reapers here. I wasn't sure if he was going to go for it, but he did get that that refinery pretty quickly actually. So this Reaper's going to come out. It's going to spot this probe on the Zelnaga watchtower. Some amazing little you know, map vision here by our Protoss player, noticing that the Reaper was out, trying to run the probe away. The probe is probably not going to survive too long here, but it was just really nice to see that the Protoss player keeping an eye on the minimap to see when that Reaper came out. Now we've got Stalker coming out, being chrono boosted by our Protoss player, so he is going to have that Stalker just in time to keep the base safe from the Reapers that are out. Now there are 2 Reapers, so this could, depending on how well the Terran player uses these 2 Reapers, there could be a little bit of trouble. Protoss player is doing a nice job covering the cliff positions here, just to make sure that if the Reaper does come along, he's going to be in position to actually stop the Reapers when they jump up the cliff. But the Reapers are just going to sit here on the watchtower to see what is happening. Now, as we can see, the Terran player is going to actually be able to see all of these units coming through the valley here, coming through this this little ravine. So he's going to be hopefully ready in time to stop this early little push here from our Protoss player. As you can see, he does have 1 Marauder, and obviously there are the 2 Reapers out on the map as well. The 2 extra racks are going down. We're doing the same sort of build that the Terran player was doing in the previous game, getting out the early racks, obviously differing it a little bit with the Reapers early. And as we can see, this wall was a bit of fail here. The wall did not actually fully block there, so all of these Protoss units are just going to walk into the base. SCV's coming along to try and stop this Stalker as well. But there are just too many Zealots here now. The Zealots are going to probably get taken out by these 2 Reapers with some nice micro, as we can see. Fantastic job there by our Terran player to get those Reapers back, to keep them on top of those Zealots. But The Zealots are going to cause a little bit of damage here. They're going to cut through a couple of SCVs. I think 2, maybe 3 SCVs went down there, which was a nice little hit on the economy of the Terran player. Meanwhile, our Protoss has actually grabbed 2 gateways and has a robotics facility there, pumping out an Immortal, chronoing it out, which is going to come out really quickly and is going to be a nice little supplement to this early force that he's got with the 3 Stalkers. Now, as we can see, it sort of still looks to be sticking with this very heavy bio force from our Terran player. He's going to lift off and take that expansion, as we can see. So, sort of same standard sort of game from last time, I believe. This looks to be. Let me just put myself on busy, so that these clowns don't annoy me anymore. Taking the expansion from Protoss Natural here. He's going to take that one and then send this probe out to scout. Probe's going to have a look around. He's probably going to get spotted by this Reaper, and the Reaper is going to take care of him. Yes, he is. There we go. Leader's probe. Now we've got the Natural is down from the Terran player. He's done a nice little transfer here of some SCVs, which is always good to do when you build that Natural. And it looks as if he's a Protoss player is going to move up this force here. It looks like he's got interesting, a little bit different with his forces this time. He's actually got some sentries here just to probably just try and split up the Terran ground force that's coming along. Here they come, a few Marauders and a few Marines. Probe comes along, just says, "Hey guys, what's happening?" Builds a pylon in the face of all of those Terran ground units. So that does not survive, obviously. Now, once again, our Protoss player is going to respond by getting a robotics bay. Now, hopefully this time the Terran is going to actually notice this and either do something a little bit different with the Bioforce, either perhaps use a lot more drop tactics. In the previous game, he did use a lot of drops, which was really good. But in the end, it sort of came down to this really big Bioforce just sort of running around the map and just getting chewed up by Colossi. So hopefully he'll actually do something a little bit different this time. Now, got a Stalker just sitting here in the middle line, probably to cover, I would assume. He might think there's some Banshees on the way, given that our Protoss player doesn't really have any vision. As we can see here, he's sort of just dancing around. He finally has an observer, but once he actually gets that observer down there, he'll see that there is no Stargate tech up. He doesn't even have a factory. Yeah, really interesting build here by our Terran player. He's going to stick with the 4 racks that he's got up. He's got 1 reactor pumping out the Marines, and the rest of the racks are going to stick with a lot of Marauders. And as we can see, the Terran force is going to move through the middle of the map and is going to come up to the destructible rocks, the back of the Protoss base. Protoss has spotted this with this spotter pylon up here on the ridge, which is a really nice little tactic you can use, guys. Make sure you always put something here in the rocks just to make sure you can see what's going on. This pretty heavy ball is going to move up. No, they're going to move back because I think they have... he's realized that he's been spotted. This probe, look at this guy. He is a tough probe. Well, not for long, but coming along. Not sure why that guy was out there, but he's going to actually try and do some damage. And we've got a really big battle here at the front of the Protoss Natural. Some nice force fields going down, trying to split up some of the Terran forces. Terran's going to be actually doing a nice job here. Just like game 1, he looks like he's going to try and snipe this Nexus. No, he's actually going to go for the Colossi. Colossi goes down, and there are just a huge amount of Terran forces here, just absolutely tearing through all these units. As we know, the Marauders with Stim doing a lot of damage. Now, these Marauders are going to get they're probably going to be blocked off here with a lot of probes coming out. We do see a lot of probes dying from the battle here, but some nice defense done by our Protoss player. So he's going to get another Immortal out. He's probably realized, I think the Observer got in here and spotted that there was only racks at the time, but now Terran is finally moving towards some higher tech. He's got Starport on the way, and he has a factory down, but nothing coming out of the factory just yet. He looks as if, yeah, maybe like last game, he's going to be going for the Medivacs just to keep on top of the Terran mobility and try and actually keep it moving around the map properly this time. Now, we've got a little attack coming to the backdoor ramp of the Protoss base. Gets spotted, but he does get away with 1 pylon kill. Now we've got, both players are doing really well in their economy. Just like last game, though, the Terran does seem to be ahead, but I would assume that's just from the mules, given that both players do have both of their naturals down. It was a little fight here, nothing too heavy going on, but we'll see. Probably our Protoss player getting some Colossi out, I would assume. Yeah, he's got one.